Hello everyone, this is Komal Mathur, a legal intern at Lexis and Company and a law student at Manipal University, Jaipur. I'm glad to have this opportunity to intern with Lexis and Company, which has given me this chance to present in front of you all. The topic or purpose of today's video is to discuss about contract law and essentials of contract. So let us start with an introduction about agreements and contracts. Contracts have always been an integral component of our lives. Knowingly or unconsciously, we engage into a contract hundreds of times in a year. Even when we buy a candy, we are entering into an arrangement with the store. Every time we visit a restaurant or hire a cab, we are entering into a contract. Although the law of contract is growing with time, the jurisprudence of contract remains the same. We know that what a contract is all about, yet new scenarios emerge every day and a fresh question appears in the mind of whether this particular arrangement should be treated as a contract or not. An agreement is a pledge between two entities creating mutual duties under the law. Section 2E of the Indian Contract Act 1872 defines an agreement as every promise and every combination of promise comprising the consideration for each other is an agreement. A contract is a legitimate agreement. In other terms, an agreement which is enforceable by law is a contract. When an offer is made with the aim to create legal obligation, it becomes an offer for entering into a contract. Thus, an agreement becomes a contract when there is a free consent of parties, capacity of the parties to contract, lawful consideration and lawful object or subject matter according to the section 10 of Indian Contract Act. For an agreement to become a contract, it must give rise to a legal obligation, and if it is incapable of doing so, it is not a contract. In the matter of Balfour versus Balfour case, Mr. Balfour promised to pay his wife euro 30 per month while she stayed in England for medical reasons. Mrs. Balfour filed a lawsuit against him after he failed to pay. Because she had no intentions of creating a legally binding agreement between Mr. and Mrs. Balfour, her conduct failed. A contract cannot be formed without clear understanding of the legal rights and obligations of the contracting parties. If this had been in contract, the wife would have been entitled to payment and the husband would have been obliged to pay to his wife. Now, what are the fundamentals of the legally binding contract? Section 10 lays out the conditions that must be met in order for a contract to be legitimate. The first condition is offer. First and foremost, either side must make an offer. Without an offer, no contract can be formed. This idea, however, could not be applied into all the circumstances. Mullah, for example, discusses a circumstance in which offer and acceptance could not be identified. Offer acceptance is the second essential condition. The offer must be accepted and accepted by the person to whom it was meant to be. As a result, A's offer to B must be accepted alone by B and nobody other on his behalf. Ad idem acceptance. Third, while acceptance is critical, there must also be consensus ad idem. The term consensus ad idem refers to meeting of minds. It indicates that the contract's provision should be accepted in the same sense by both the parties. Third condition is parties must be legally capable of contracting under the laws to which they are subjected to. Fourth is consideration. Both the parties to contract must contribute something in exchange for the fulfillment of their obligations. Fifth is the contract's objective and consideration must be legal. Sixth is pre-consent. According to Section 10 of the Contract Act, agreements are contracts if they are made by free consent. This indicates that the parties must engage into contract of their own free will and without being coerced or tricked. Seventh condition is there must be an intention to form a legally binding and enforceable contract. Eighth is contracts must be certain and not confusing and vague in order to be effective. Now, last and the ninth condition is a contract must be not be declared void specifically according to the Contract Act Section 10. That's it for today. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.